Records show that companies closely tied to Russia have been paying lobbying firms tens of millions of dollars a year to try and influence U.S. policymakers. But after Russia invaded Ukraine, those lobbying firms all dropped their Russian clients. And now some are advising Ukraine for free. Spectrum News Washington reporter Samantha-Jo is following the money trail.
Before Russia invaded Ukraine, Ukrainian interests spent just over $2 million on U.S. lobbyists and PR firms last year. But now, many Washington law and lobbying firms have been lining up to work for Ukraine at no charge.
To have all of these different lobbying and public relations firms start working for them for free, it's pretty extraordinary. And it's not just any lobbying and public relations firms either. Morrison and Forrester, for example, it's one of the biggest law firms in the world.
Filings with the Justice Department's Foreign Agent Registration Unit show the Washington firm Morrison and Forrester advising Ukraine's president. The firm SKDK says it advised Ukraine's UN ambassador. Mercury Public Affairs is arranging meetings between Ukrainian officials and U.S. leaders. And Plus Communications is connecting Ukrainian officials with U.S. journalists.
One of the hidden secrets of Washington is that a lot of the talking heads that you see on TV, the articles and op-eds you might see written in media, a lot of that is there because a lobbyist or a paid PR person helped to get that there.
Mercury is one of at least 9 U.S. lobbying and PR firms that have cut ties with Russian businesses. The Biden administration has slapped most of those businesses with sanctions.
Russia has spent about $182 million on lobbying in the U.S. ever since 2016. So when these lobby firms are dropping their Russian contracts, they're dropping millions of dollars.
All of these now sanctioned businesses were able to keep the full extent of their activities trying to influence the government hidden, claiming a degree of separation from the Kremlin. That enabled them to avoid registering as a foreign agent and disclosing more of their activities.
It's not just Russia. The Chinese, North Koreans, all these countries that we consider adversaries in many ways are lobbying without fully disclosing what it is they're up to.
There's been talk for years here on Capitol Hill about closing this lobbying loophole, but legislation has not yet been introduced. In Washington, Samantha-Jo, Spectrum News.